Welcome YouTube. If you're new to my channel, my name is Kytanna Prokosh. I am a swimwear designer and the owner of Zozobee Flexwear and Battleborn Bikinis. And welcome back if you are a subscriber. So yes, the channel has gotten quite a few interests over the last month. Thank you guys so much. My 2020 bikini try-on video just got 1 million views on YouTube. So high five to that. Not wearing a bikini top. I'm gonna go for that because I want to keep the business talk a little bit different than the bikini try-ons. So business talk. We had our first biggest booth of the year. So I've done 2 other booths this year for fitness, Zozobee competition suits. They were smaller booths. One was in Antioch and one was in Winnemucca, Nevada. Antioch, California and Winnemucca, Nevada. So our first big booth for Battleborn bikinis, the regular swimwear, was this past weekend, this past Saturday. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. We're gonna go back next year. So we got a 10 by 10 booth. And I originally was like 10 by 10, like that's pretty big for a booth space. I would say most of the booths that I do, I get like a 6-foot table, maybe 2 6-foot tables. So a 10 by 10, I wasn't really thinking in my head size-wise. And then I have like an AutoCAD program that I put in. My husband made wooden clothing racks and they were about 4 feet long. And then I had a fitting room that was 3.5 feet by 3.5 feet. So I kind of configured this in this AutoCAD program by a 10 by 10 square. And I was like, fuck, this is really small. So I had to take one rack out and I only was able to bring 3 wooden TP racks and the fitting room. And then I had a podium I was having shipped from Amazon and the podium did not show up in time. So that night, like the night before the show, I went to Hobby Lobby and found like a podium. It was like a plant shelf or something. It was like 4 foot high and had 3 shelves, which ended up working out great. I put the raffle prize on the second shelf and then my wrapping paper, like tissue paper, and my bags on my last shelf. And the top shelf had my tablet for my register, my POS, and my tickets for the raffle, my business cards, and my flyers. So I have pictures, obviously, of the booth and the layout. And it was kind of tight. I had 3 other employees, no, 4 other employees, and myself. Did I have 5? Yes, I had 2 assistants and 2 models and myself. I had 5. So a 10 by 10 booth was kind of small for that, but I had one of the models walk around and hand out flyers. The male model stayed at the booth to draw in the ladies for the swimwear. One assistant, she helped with like everything, and the other assistant helped with the register, and she's very good at sales, very good at people getting them to do the free raffle. And so that was a lot of fun. It was a lot more work than I thought leading up to the show, especially purchasing marketing material, and then all my suits. 8 o'clock right now, 8:08. Marketing material. And my suits didn't have tags because I'm a small boutique. I usually have open shop or I ship out my suits, and I usually put tags on at the time, or if they come in and purchase it, it's not like a huge deal because they know where they're getting the suit. But when you do a big booth like that and they take the suit home and they want to remember where they got it from, or if they love it, which they should, where they want to purchase again from. So I came up with like an idea about a month out from the show in January that I needed to label all my swimsuits. And because I make them myself, I don't always sometimes I have labels and then I run out, but I still have to keep producing suits. So I just don't put labels on all of them. And then last year I tried vegan cork labels, which kind of looked, they called it a vegan leather, but it was cork. But cork, it was compressed to make this really thin paper-like thing. And then it had a backing glued on it, and that's where they would make my labels. And it didn't really hold up that well in the water. And then I also had to sew each label on, which sounds like you're sewing the suit, so just sew it on. But it actually has to be sewn on last. Because most of my suits are reversible, the label had to go like around the, like if this was, like the label would cup it, so you could see the label from either side. And that was an awesome idea, great product. It didn't hold up as well as I thought. But the thing was, is that I had to match the thread to the suit because the label was on the outside. Oh my God. Every time I would do a new suit, I'd have to change the thread out, and that was just a pain in the ass, let me tell you. So, work smarter, not harder. I came up with an idea to heat press my labels on, kind of like the tagless heat press labels. But again, because my suit's reversible, I went through this process, like, do I heat press both sides? Do I heat press one side? It was confusing. So what I decided is most of my suits that are reversible have a printed fabric and a solid fabric. So I figured on the top I would do printed, and on the bottom I would do solid. I would heat press my logo on the printed side of the top and heat press my logo on the solid side of the bottom. It worked out perfect. So no matter what side you were wearing, there was always going to be a tag on it and a logo on it. So that was about a month out from this show that I decided I needed to do that, and that was a lot more work than I thought. I hired an assistant. She did amazing. She heat pressed all my suits. She tagged all my suits. She made some scrunchies. We put liners, like the hygiene liners in the crotch of all the suits. Oh my God, that's such a pain. A lot of them don't stick because spandex stretches. So when you put the suit on and the fabric stretches, these little sticky liners like fall out, and they're like all over the floor. They're stuck in your carpet. They're like stuck to the wall. People just stick them. They're like stuck to people's shoes. So that's a hassle, and they cost money. I have to pay for these stickers because it looks professional, but the reversible ones are harder, the reversible suits, because it's like, do you put one on each side and then hope they wear the size, or try on the side that you put the sticker on? All these things you got to think about, and I didn't, but there's a first time for everything. And this show was such a success, you guys. Like, I think I tripled the sales, doubled, tripled what I paid for the booth and what I got back in return. So I definitely made profit, but it was a lot of work, and I had to pay my assistant and my model. The other two were volunteers. Thank God they're my best friends. The male model has been modeling for me for like 4 years. And then my other friend, which was the assistant on the register, I've known her 8 years now, and was my assistant for 2 years full time, and then she went to real estate, so she knows a lot about the business. They've both done fitness shows, so those two volunteers were like priceless. They helped a lot, especially the male model. He helped so many gather so many ladies to come to the booth, and then also take pictures. So he was the big asset to my booth, and he had his shirt off and was gathering, customers. A few things to point out for the booth that I did realize after we got there, demographic wise. So it's called Divas Day Out. It's 18 and over event, and it has a male review, fashion show, and then vendors. Vendors ranged from like lipo, eyebrows, photographers. Adam and Eve is a sex shop. Us, bikinis. There was gyms that had booths. I'm trying to think. Real estate. cars. There was vendors of all sorts. But it's definitely women driven. So that's why I thought it would be so amazing to do this booth right before summer, and all the attendees are women. Like what better place? And it did. It freaking worked out. So that all was amazing. Sorry, I got notifications. So all of that was amazing. And what was I going to talk about? Demographic wise, it was an 18 and over event, but we realized after the show that I would say a majority of them are over like 35 and plus size. So there's nothing wrong with that, but just knowing what I have to bring next year. So I had a lot of ladies want plus size swimwear, and I wasn't able to provide them with the variety of plus size swimwear, even though I portray plus size. A lot of people don't consider me, I was getting on, oh no, I gotta go to bed. A lot of people don't consider me plus size, but I am a size 14. I can waver between a 12 and a 14. Totally depends on what it is, what brand I'm buying. But some of these women were a lot larger than that. And there becomes a size where I can't help them after like a size, I would say 18. I honestly don't like to go over a 16 personally, because they need extra support, a lot more compression fabric, spandex fabric, more fabric. And spandex isn't cheap, and it's hard to say, but the more fabric, the more expensive your suit is. And women just want to pay the same price as like a size small, which is like a fourth of fabric, where like I know I'm a yard of fabric. A yard is 36 inches by 50, I think 51 or something. And that covers me. So a yard of fabric, when I can make one suit, or an extra small, I can make 4 suits. The price differs. And so it's hard to justify when I'm going to something like that and there's all these women that are like, wow, you custom make suits. Like, I've always wanted a place like this. But then I have to kind of like let them down and be like, well, I do, but there's stipulations. Like, it has to be certain styles that I offer, because when I start offering all the styles, or send me a picture and I'll make it, your perspective is different than mine, and I'm the designer, so I know what I am capable of, and then you know what you feel good in and what you think you're gonna get, and then you feel like you're gonna look like, Heidi Klum, but you're not. And so the perspective is off, and I've stopped doing custom orders extremely large like that, because there's a lot of letdown. I don't do underwire. I just don't even want to get into bra making or any of that. And a lot of the support issues, thicker straps, thicker spandex, thicker elastic, just comes with a different type of sewing. And I'm only one person. And at this point, because I am a size 12 to 14, that's all I really want to go up to. I don't want to do anything bigger. And it's my business, so I can make those decisions. But I can manufacture. I can totally design and manufacture bigger swimwear, and I would love to do that. And that is the plan for next year, for 2021 Divas Day Out, is to bring and pack full of plus size swimwear for all my ladies, and to have a bigger booth. We're going to double our booth. And so basically I'm going to have 2 10x10s, and one 10x10 is going to be Battleborn bikinis. The other one's going to be, those will be Flexwear. But I'm going to have 2 fitting rooms, and then in the center I'm going to have my little podium. Probably the same amount of employees, and just have more space. We wanted to like decorate it, like have a rug and like a chair maybe, and just have a little bit more like inviting space, where our 10x10 was kind of closed off, and with 4 other employees like in and out, it was hard to get people in. But girl, I had a girl push me out of the way to see the suits on the rack, and I'm like, do you not see my shirt? I work here. Actually, I'm the owner. I'm the designer. Hi, nice to meet you. And she was like elbowing so she could get to some suits. Calm down. Calm down. There's enough for everyone. But it was such a great feeling. We also had a fashion show, ended up having 10 ladies in the fashion show, which was another experience because I've done plenty of fashion shows. I've been in fashion shows, and I have so many models that actually know what they're doing. They're good at what they do. And this company, it's a media group in town, and they put on this Divas Day out, and they found a sorority to volunteer because it's kind of like a sorority. They need hours or something. And so they volunteered, but none of them have ever modeled before. If at all, maybe like once. I have no idea. None of them had said that they had experience, let alone a fashion show in front of 5,000 people. So that was interesting. They went really fast. I could say that the models themselves were great models. They did well with like portraying the swimsuits. It was a basic variety between small and medium bodies. And I did get one girl that I think was a size 18-20, which was freaking awesome because I wasn't going to have a plus size, and she showed up with a friend that was modeling, and I was like, so you're gonna model too, right? And she's like, no. And I said, yes, I need a plus size girl, like please model for me. So I ended up getting her to model for me, and she probably went the fastest on the runway. Understandably, I get it. She didn't go all the way down the runway. She went halfway and like turned around and ran back. The crowd went nuts. The crowd screamed. They were like so pumped and excited to see a big girl up there on stage and like loving it. She blew a kiss to the audience before she ran away. The announcer didn't even get to announce her suit before she like turned around and ran off stage. But when I saw them backstage, like I thanked them and, you know, congratulated them, gave them some constructive criticism. I know I'm so mean, but they gotta learn. Hopefully next year I can get my own girls for my own fashion show. That would be ideal. If they trust me and I can pull it off. But her name is Allie, my plus size girl, and backstage she was like probably shaking in her suit. And I told her she did a great job, and I said, you literally killed it. They were screaming for you. And she said, I thought I did something wrong when they started screaming. I'm like, girl, no, that's because you killed it. So I'm very proud of all of them, and that went really well. Then I think the only other thing with that booth that like literally everything else went so well, was probably the loading dock for the booth. The day we loaded was the day before the show, which was awesome to set up the day before. We all had setup times between like 12 and 8, and I think ours was 2. And then the night of the show got over at 4, so I think it's kind of short, but it starts at 9, which I think kind of was early. I think like 11 to 6 would be kind of cool, but it's 9 to 4. And there's no breakdown time. Literally everyone breaks down at 4. And the loading dock is fucking insane. So I think they could change that a little bit. We have set up times. We should have breakdown times because you know people were bringing their cars up before 4 o'clock and the flatbed carts were taken. Like it was a madhouse. So you'll see a clip in there where my male model is taking the flatbed cart down the ramp. Because they only allow so many cars up in loading dock, which there's only like maybe 8 parking spots. And this is a huge event. And you've got, I mean, DJ and media and lights and who knows what else. But there's tons of vendors and everybody's scrambling to get out. So I think like out of everything, that could be changed booth wise, but we're definitely going back. It was awesome, so much fun, and I definitely wanted to talk about that as my first business talk. There's probably 100 other things I could pinpoint on, like my assistant hiring an assistant and things to look for in an assistant, hiring models, not having them drink when they volunteer. What else? Me, myself, I was definitely overwhelmed. I did drink because it did relax me, but I did notice when I had my first drink so early in the morning that I do let loose a little bit, but in that environment, I don't know if that was best because I'm not a good salesperson in general, so loosen me up, and I just kind of suck at selling. But other than that, the booth went really well. I appreciate all your follows. And again, I have an OnlyFans account where I do try on swimwear, pictures daily, and I appreciate every single one of you. I do have another video coming soon, so I'm going to switch them on and off. I'm going to do like business talk and then try on, bikini try on, business talk, bikini try on. And see how that works out. And hopefully I'll take care, and I'll see you guys later. Today is the final day. I'm going to set up for my booth, and then I found out I had a 10 o'clock hair appointment, which is perfect because this hair needs some help. My roots are coming out. I'm also tired, and I need a little trim. I think I'm going to take off like an inch. I think like once it becomes too long, it just kind of sits on my shoulders weird, and it's really thin in general, so then it kind of is straggly. But I'm gonna get my hair done. I'm gonna run back to my office, and we're gonna pack the rest of the stuff in my car for my booth, and then we're gonna go set up at the booth. See you there. We're here. Just came up the stairs, so I'm out of breath. This is Sydney. We're in the Grand Sierra. Do you remember what the ballroom was called? Don't remember. So where we're gonna go set up. All right, we got our vendor passes for Diva's Day Out. They would not let us in the parking area to unload the car because of bad communication on their part. I did not know that. They only had a certain amount of parking for cars to unload at a specific time. We were scheduled for 2 o'clock. It's 2:08, so we were a little early, and so there wasn't room for us to park our car up there and unload. But the guy, I think he's like a special needs guy, and he's working security, and so he was unable to like communicate that to us, and was very rude and made me turn around and get back in line behind other cars because they weren't ready for us to park up there. So that was dumb. And so we unloaded. We're all up, we're ready to go in, and my assistant went with the guy. He's helping on a flatbed unload all the stuff. So I'm headed in there now to go set up the booth. Here's Sydney setting up. This is our booth. It's a 10 by 10. So the exciting part is there's a bar right here. What is your name?
Adam.
And we have Adam. He's our bartender.
Bartender.
And then right next door to our booth is where the Magic Men Mike are going to be taking pictures. Do you see that? Heck yeah.
La conocí caminando por un backstreet. Estaba sexy.
So we're pretty much all set up. Do you have a question? Oh.
Hi, Sophia.
So it's pretty much all done. Let me get a.
Should I take the sunflower to the bottom?
Yeah. I think it looks weird only because it's a tube top. And my cute shirt. I got chalk paint. Chalk paint on it. You see my chalkboard. Here's the stage where the men, like this is our booth, and the men are right tomorrow. And there's the stage. So we are quite close to the stage. It's exciting, and the bar. I'm here again because I found a shelf. You can't even see it. And he's still here. Today's the day. It's really early. Up and getting makeup on so I can go to my booth at Dave's Day Out. And so it is, I got up at 6:30, it's 7 now. And We're done. It was such a busy day. I seriously got home, I couldn't find my phone, so I wasn't able to film packing up my car. I paid my assistant, packed up my car, came home, couldn't find my phone. Had my husband call my phone, we found it in my car. We're going to a concert tonight, same night, did my Divas Day Out booth. So I am all ready to go to the concert tonight, Colt Ford. Super excited, but it has been a busy day, and like I just need like a half hour to figure out what I'm doing. Super successful day. Thank you to all my assistants. We're definitely going back next year. We're gonna be bigger booth for sure. More fitting rooms, so many more ideas. So I will touch base after the concert. I'm gonna do another video, and then I'll be posting.